I see a lot of you participating, a lot of energy. Thank you so much. I'm doing good. Okay. Now, before I start the seminar, I'd like to ask a few questions. Okay. So, how many of you want to get 170 in GRE Quant? Priyash, Gautam, Ramkrishna, Rajat, Samir. Sagar says, I guess all. Okay. Now, how many of you consider yourself to be very good in maths? Okay, Anurag, Srish, Syed, Ishani, Saurabh. Okay. Okay, Sagar got 97 percentile in CAT. All right. Okay. Now let me tell you this, that being good in maths and getting 170 in Quant are very different. Okay. And I saw that a lot of you want to score 170. Okay. Now I'll help you how to, and I'll help you by telling you how you can score 170. Okay. Now can you also participate in few polls and tell me when are you planning to take your GRE? Okay. So how many of you writing in a month's time? How many of you writing in 2 to 3 months time? Okay, Stricker is writing in June. Shreyas is writing within a month. Okay, Meena is writing within a month. Anurag in 2 months. Leela Krishna in 2 to 3 months. Gautam is writing in December. So that's about 10 months. Okay. Okay, I see most of you are writing after 6 months. And some of you are also writing within a month's time. Okay, Shubhi is writing next year. Saurabh is writing in September. All right. Okay, so I'll close this poll, and so I think everybody has participated. Karna October 14th, Rajat in August. Okay, I'll be closing the poll then. Okay. One more poll. What is your current level of GRE preparation? Okay, how many of you have started? How many of you are just getting started? How many of you have finished about half of it? And how many of you almost completed it? Okay, Meena has just started. Saurabh has just started. Apurva has just started. Anurag has also just started. Shrikar has just started. Okay, so see, most of you have just started or not yet started. Right, Saurabh? Okay. Thank you. Can I close the poll now? All right. Okay. Now, to start with, how many of you like solving problems? Okay, Karna, Ramkrishna, Samir, Apurv, Karun, Amit. All right, Agraj. Okay. Now, what you can also do is you can get a notebook and pen along with you. Okay, we'll be solving few questions. Okay, though we're not going to focus on any techniques today. Okay, but what we're going to discuss today is the broad principles, the broad guidelines one should always follow in order to get a very high score in GRE Quant. Okay, now we'll just just start with this. Now let me see how many of you are able to understand what this means. Okay, now to start with, this is not a mathematical question. Okay, but what do you understand from this? Okay, 6% of X got 800 and 2% of Y got 170. What do you understand from this? Okay, Sirish quickly answers saying 48 and 3.4. All right, let me make it simpler. Okay, X is the highest score one could get in GRE Quant in the previous pattern, and 170 is the highest score one can get in the new the new format of GRE. Okay, so what do X and Y represent? Yeah, I see some mathematical equations, some numbers coming. Okay, Gautam has it right. Okay, Gautam says students count. Okay, so X is the number of students, okay, who used to appear in the old GRE, and Y is the number of students who appear in the new GRE. Right, Sagar? Okay, so what does that mean? 6% of the students, or of the students who earlier took GRE, got 800. And currently 2% of them get 170. So what does that mean? Right, Samir and Shirish, it's full marks. Tricky questions. It was easier before. Quant has become tough. Sagar says achievable. Right, reduced percentage of GRE. Need to put in effort. Right, Samir, your interpretation is right. Okay, so you can see that Quant has become slightly more difficult. Okay, or scoring 170 in Quant has become slightly more difficult. Okay, if you have friends, if you have any college mates who have taken GRE earlier, and if you find out their scores, you will find a very big difference in their quality of thinking. Okay, between students who score 167 and 160, there is a very, very wide gap. Okay, and it becomes very evident when you take the GRE. Okay, now I'll tell you what is the most important thing for you to crack GRE Quant. So what do you think is it? What do you think is the most important thing to be able to crack GRE Quant? Aptitude and attitude, says Ankita. Priya says accuracy. Sirish says hard work. Syed says time. Common sense with maths, says Saurabh. Understanding the question, says Gautam. Mental ability, says Rajat. Karuna says practice. Attention to detail and accuracy, says Sagar. Luck, says somebody. Trade-off between time and accuracy. Avoiding silly mistakes. Focus, practice. Okay, so a lot of answers and all of them are right. Okay, but the most important thing of all to be able to get 170 in GRE Quant is visualization. Okay, what does visualization mean? Okay, what does it mean to be able to visualize a question? Practical, says Ramakrishna. To imagine, says Saurabh. Creativity. Ability to perceive, says Samir. Understanding the question. Imagine it practically. Able to observe what is asked and what details we have, says Sagar Mehta. Relating it to something in real life. Knowing exactly what is said. Right. So all of you understand what visualization is, right? To be able to understand what the question means, to be able to simplify it in the form of equations wherever applicable. Okay, understand what is being required from you to do, right? Okay, so how many of you are up to try some questions, and let's see how many of you are able to visualize some of the questions that we have here. Okay, Ramakrishna, Deepak, Samir, Saurabh, Sagar, Akshay, Ankita, Sundra, Meena. All right. Okay. So try this question. Okay. What is the area of the regular hexagon ABCDEF inscribed in the circle of circumference 8 pi? Okay. So this looks like 8n, but it is 8 pi. Let me see who is the first one. Okay, Saurabh is asking for options. Okay, Saurabh, you try. It's okay if you don't get the answer, but let me see if you're able to try the question. Avni Saxena says 24 root 3. Okay. Radhika also says 24 root 3. Apur says 24 root 3. Sagar says 192. Okay, so which one of these is right? Yadneha says 24 root 3. Akshay says 24 root 3. Gautam says 24 root 3. Okay, Ankita says 24 root 3. Saugan says 48. Okay. Before I tell the answer, how many of you were not able to do it? How many of you did not understand how to approach the question? Okay, Sundra, Karuna, Anurag, Akshay, all right? Okay, so did you find difficulty in understanding the question, or did you find difficulty in solving it because you did not know the formulas? Okay, Syed says didn't know the formula. Okay, Meena not able to understand. Okay, Anurag has some doubt. Okay, some of you didn't know the formula. Okay, so a lot of you don't know the formulas. Okay, in case you don't know the formulas, it's well understood that you will not be able to proceed with the question. Okay. Now, how many of you knew the formula but were not able to do it? Anybody like that? Okay, Anurag knew the formula. Samir also knew the formula. Okay, fine. So in that case, understanding of the question, is required. Now, shall we try solving this question? Okay. Now we know that the area, we have to find out area of the regular hexagon, right? So we know that if you take find out the area of this triangle and multiply by that by 6, you will find out the area of the regular hexagon, right? All of you agree with me? Okay, so how do you find out the area of this triangle? Okay, Ramakrishna says 1 by 2 BH. Okay, no idea says somebody. Karuna says that. Okay. Okay, half BH. Okay, but how do you find half BH? Okay, some of the measurements are not given. So how do you find out half BH? Nazuk says get R. Okay, so how do you find out R? You find out this. How do you find out that? 2 pi R. Okay, right. So you have 2 pi R is equal to 8 pi, correct? Right. So you have radius equal to R. Okay. Now there's a direct formula to get area of an equilateral triangle. Okay, how many of you know that? Okay, Apur says root 3 by 4 side square. Root 3 by 4. Okay, right. So you apply that formula and you will find out the area of this triangle, right? Okay, now you multiply that by 6 and you will find out the area of the regular hexagon, right, Saurabh? Okay, Akshay is asking me how do you know that it's an equilateral triangle? Okay, it is the property of a regular hexagon. Okay. Yes, Sundara, I can repeat the formula. When the triangle is equilateral, and if you have measure of one of the sides, okay, then you can use the formula root 3 by 4 side square is equal to area of the equilateral triangle. All right. Okay. So you will have the answer as 24 root 3. Okay. So how many of you got that? Okay. Deepak, Piyush, Rishikesh, Gautam. Okay. Somebody asking me what is A here? Root 3 by 4 A square. That A is the R radius. Okay. Okay. So shall we try the next one? Okay. So let me see who solves this one first. Okay. So one more from geometry. Okay. If PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral with a circle of center O, radius R, and ST is height, what is the area of the shaded region? Yes, Sasikar. Do you have a question? Okay, I'm waiting for somebody to give me an answer. Okay, Akshay has a doubt which shaded region, the white or the pink one. You have to find out the area of the pink shaded region. Okay, Apur has answer pi r square minus 2 HR. Piyush says pi r square minus h minus half PQ into QR. Area of the circle area of circle minus area of unshaded region. That is the right approach, Ramakrishna, but what is the answer? Ankita says pi r square minus h into PQ plus SR. Sagan says pi r square minus 2 RH. Pi r square minus RH minus R square, says Radhika. Pi r square minus d to the power into 2. I don't know what d is. Okay, d by d you mean diameter, okay. Pi r square minus R square plus HR, says Sagar. Okay. We'll look at what is the right answer. Okay, but before that, how many of you were not able to solve this question? Okay, Ramkrishna, Karna, okay. Akshay, Yadaneha, okay, Sundra, okay. No problem. Okay. I understand that a lot of you are just getting started or just started the preparation. Okay, so it's fine if you're not able to solve it now. Okay, so shall we try solving this question and let's see how many of you got it right. Okay, now how do you find out the area of the shaded region? Ankita says circle minus area of the cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, everybody agrees? Area of the circle minus area of the quadrilateral. Okay, now how do you find out the area of the quadrilateral? Area of the two triangles. Yes. So how do you find out the area of the triangles? Now let us take one of the triangle. We'll take one triangle at a time. Okay. So let's take this triangle. Okay. PSR. Okay. So how do you find out the area of this triangle? (2r) is a base, says Piyush, right? And the height is given. Correct? So what is the area of the triangle? What is the formula that you have to use here to find out area of the triangle? Okay, so it's half base into height. Right. So you just use that formula and you will be able to get area of this triangle. It will come out to be R into H. Correct? Okay. Everybody got it? Okay. Now, how do you find out area of this triangle? Okay, Ankita, they are not equal. Okay, it's not an equilateral triangle. Right, Saurabh, it's isosceles. Okay, Piyush says diameter subtends a right angle, so angle PQR is right angle. Okay, so what do you understand from that? Okay, two sides are equal, fine, but how do you find out area of this triangle? All that is additional information. You have this is right triangle. Okay, base into height, that is one up, right? So you can use that. Okay, so there are two ways to find out area of this triangle. Okay, so one is half this into this. Okay, because this is a right angle triangle. Okay, so that is one way of finding out area of this triangle. Okay, the other one is that you draw a perpendicular. Okay, which will also be the perpendicular bisector. Do you know why? Okay, because it's an isosceles triangle. Okay, so whenever you have an isosceles triangle, okay, if you draw a perpendicular, okay, if you draw a bisector, it is a perpendicular bisector. Whenever you draw a height, or if you draw a median, okay, in case of a isosceles triangle, it will bisect it at right angle. Okay, so using using that, you can find out area of this triangle, and then you multiply by that by 2, and you find out area of this triangle. So in either ways you can find out area of PQR. Okay. Now somebody was earlier asking me how is this angle equal to PQR. Okay, that is because it is an angle subtended by this chord, okay, to the circle, okay, and in that case this will be 90 degrees. Okay, so angle subtended by a diameter on the circle, on the circumference, is 90 degrees, right? So you'll be able to find out area of this triangle also. Okay, everybody understood how to do it? Okay, then the next step is to you add both those triangles, and from the area of circle you subtract that. Okay, so that is the area of the shaded region, right? Okay, Saurav is asking what is the final answer. Okay, the final answer is pi r square minus RH minus r square. Okay, so how many of you got this answer? Okay, Karna, Akshay, Neluri, Srish, Apurv. Okay, Saurabh says after some explanation he understood it. What is the base and height of the isosceles triangle? Okay, Ram Krishna, the base was the diameter. Okay, and height was the radius. Okay, Meena also got it. Anurag also got it. Samir also got it. Okay, area of the first triangle was RH. Area of triangle PQR is R square. Okay, this area of this triangle is R square, and area of this triangle is RH. Okay, shall we move on to the next question? How many of you want to try the next one? Okay, so in the given figure, what is the measure of angle PSQ? What is the measure of the angle PSQ? Srinivasa says 30, Ankita says 65, Akshay says 30, Saurabh says 65, Amit says 65, 30, 45. I see mostly everybody answering 30 and 65. Annie Saxena says 65, Gautam says 65, Radhika says 65, Ankita also says 65. Samir says 65. Okay. Now, how many of you, were able to solve this question? Okay, Akshay, Saurabh, Apurv, Hemang. Okay. Now, what if I told you that the answer is not 30? Angle PSQ is not 30. How many of you got the answer right? Okay, Akshay, Piyush got it wrong, alright. Okay, sir. Okay, wrong. Okay, lot of you thought that this angle and this angle are equal. Correct? Lot of you thought that this angle and this angle are equal, right? Okay, they are not they are not equal. Okay, the correct answer is 65. Okay, now how many of you got the answer 65? Okay, Akshay, Gautam, Deepak, Saurabh, Ankita, Nazuk, Samir. Okay, how many of you were not able to how many of you did not understand how to approach the question? I assume the rest of you. Okay, so shall we go ahead and try solving this question? Okay, slightly confused says Samir. Okay, Apur got it now. Right, Piyush, you got the concept right now. Very good. Okay. All right. Let's let's try solving it. Okay. Now, this angle is equal to this angle. How many of you agree with me? Okay. This angle is equal to this angle. Do you agree with me? Rajat agrees. Anurag agrees. Vertically opposite angles says Piyush. Srikar says agreed. Okay. Now, what is the sum of angles in a triangle? How many of you know what is it equal to? 180? Right. Okay. Now you know this angle is 85, this angle is 30. So can you find out area of this angle? Right? Are you guys able to hear me? I'm facing some technical difficulty. Okay, please bear with me for a few more seconds. I'm facing some technical difficulty. Okay, are you able to hear me now? Okay, are you able to hear me now? Karna, are you able to hear me? Okay, and what about the screen? Are you able to see the screen? Okay, no. Okay, just a minute. the question is not visible? Okay, just give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, are you able to see? Are you able to see now? And are you able to hear me now? Okay, very, very sorry for that. Okay, I just changed my computer. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. Okay, now we were discussing the sum of the angles. So everybody agreed that this is 180 degrees. So we could find out that this angle is equal to 65 degrees. Correct? Right? So this is 85, this is 30, and rest is 65. Okay. Now, if this is 65, okay, if this angle is 65, then I say that this angle is also 65. How many of you agree with me? Okay. Okay. How is the question? Okay, I'm saying this angle and this angle are equal. Okay, how do you say it's 65? Okay, now there is a property, okay, which goes like this, which says, angle subtended by a chord or an arc on the same side of the circle, okay, then the angles are equal. Okay, now you draw unlimited number of angles which are subtended by PQ, okay, on the same side of the circle, right? So you can see that there are multiple triangles drawn or multiple angles drawn, right? Okay, now all these angles will be equal. Okay, so going and one more thing to remember here is they have to be on the same side of the circle. Okay, now if you draw an angle on this side, they will not be equal. Okay, so using that property, we have PSQ is equal to PRQ. Okay. Okay, so that is why we have this angle is equal to this angle, and we had this angle as 65, so this angle is also 65. Okay, so everybody understood how to get it? Okay, now all these three questions that is solved, okay, how many of you were able to get all the answers right? Okay, Akshay got it. Okay, Leela Krishna got 2 correct. Gautam got 2 correct. Not all, but I understood all of them, says Ankita. Okay, fine, good. Got 2 of them correct. Only the first question, says Srinivasa. Okay, somebody asked me, why can't they be alternate angles? Okay, in what case will there be alternate angles? Okay, in what case will it be 30 degrees? Okay, anybody? Parallel lines. Correct. Okay, only when those two lines are parallel. Okay, only in that case will this angle be equal to 30 degrees. Okay. So what did you understand from all these questions? Okay. Now if you see all these questions, okay, the formulas that were required to be used were very simple. Requires practice, says Rajat. Right? Akshay says yes. Formulas were simple. Okay. Nazuk says it's easy to approach. Just need to recapitulate formulas. Okay. Now, how many of you knew formulas but were not able to do it? Okay, Samir says need to know formulas, basic formulas are needed, says Yarena. Okay, find the right approach, says Deepak. Property, says Akshay. Need to know basic formula, says Meena. Right. So one is that you need to know the formulas, otherwise you will definitely not be able to solve questions. Okay. And in case you know the formulas, okay, the next thing you should know is how to approach the question. But okay, if you actually see the formulas required to solve these questions were all very simple ones. Okay. Now the trick is to know how to approach the question. Okay, so that is what we call as visualization, right? So in the beginning of the online seminar, we started with discussing what is visualization. Okay, this is what exactly visualization means: to be able to break down the question, okay, in a form in which which can be used to solve a question. Okay, so you have to develop visualization and intuition. Okay, formulas are definitely required. Okay, but formula based techniques can only take you so far. Okay, a lot of you told me that you want to score 170. Okay, now I'm telling you, if you use just formula based techniques, you will not be able to score more than 160. Okay, so if you want to get 170, okay, you should be able to understand the concepts. Okay, and beyond 160, it's only visualization and intuition that can help you. Okay, and how many of you actually love maths? Okay, Akshay, Deepak, Anurag, Ankita. Piyush says not much. Ramya says not me. Tushar says my backbone. Okay, not much, not so much, says Samir. Okay, if you want to get 170 in GRE Quant, you need to love it. Okay, you need to love maths. Okay, and you have to, for every question that you do, you have to ask yourself, what if this condition was given to me differently? Okay, what if these conditions were different? Okay, what if some variables were missing? Okay, what is the most important condition that is given in the question? Okay, which is allowing you to solve the question. Okay, how many of you do that? How many of you ask this question to yourself? Okay, Akshay does. Sometimes says Rajat. Okay, Anurag does it sometimes. Tushar says he definitely does it all the time. Okay, Ramya says I do that sometimes but doesn't work always. Very often says Yadaneha. Okay, so that's a good practice, that some of you are following, and the rest of you, you should start, doing that, as soon as possible if you want to get a very high score in quant. Okay, and how many of you try to solve questions in multiple ways? Okay, Ankita, Sajni, Akshay, Piyush, Rohit, Srinivas, Sirish, Anurag. Okay, very good. Okay, now you have to try to solve question in multiple ways. Somebody just told me that, but you can't do that in GRE, right, Karuna? Okay, so you can't do that in GRE, but when you're practicing for GRE, you can definitely do that, isn't it? Yadina says it improves mental ability. Okay, and while you're trying to solve questions in different ways, try to find out shorter methods to solve the same question. Okay, and understand what is the basic fundamental reason because of which you are able to save so much time. Okay, now while you're practicing, okay, you should always stop and look at yourself, do self-analysis, and understand what are you exactly doing and where you are heading. Okay, now how all of you are aware of the topics that are there in GRE Quant? Okay, so you have to find out what are the topics that are weak in and what are the topics that you are good at. Okay, now how many of you know that? Which topics are you good at? Okay, Nazuk says I'm weak in statement ones. Okay, okay, Piyush is good at arithmetic. Karna is good at data comparison. Okay, Anurag is not good in graphs. Probability is weak, says Rohit. Weak in geometry. Weak in probability. Weak in geometry. Good in comparison and numeric. Weak in geometry. Hate trigonometry. Okay, now you particularly cannot hate any topic or you cannot leave any topic. Okay, this is not like college exam. Okay, where you can skip few leave out a few questions, and because of the options that you can choose between questions, you will still be able to score very high marks or score full marks. Okay, it is definitely not the case. Okay, there are no fixed weightages. Okay, and questions will come to you randomly. Okay, the GRE is is an adaptive style exam. Okay, and it will be able to understand what level of performance you're giving, and accordingly throw up difficult questions to you. Right? Everybody is aware of that. Okay, so in order to be able to in order to overcome that, you should be good at all the topics, especially if you want to get 170. Okay, and you should be able to understand what is the maximum difficulty level of a question that you can solve from a particular topic. Okay, now there are questions of 5 difficulty levels in GRE. Okay, are you aware of that? Okay, not yet aware. Okay, I'll explain it. Okay, now in an adaptive exam like GRE, okay, depending upon the performance in the first section, okay, you'll have 2 sections of quant, okay, in your GRE exam. Depending upon the performance in the first section, the difficulty level of questions in the next section would change. Okay. Now in the first section, if you get more and more answers right, okay, the difficulty level of questions in the next section would become more and more difficult. Okay, at the same time, the score that you will get for each question would also increase. Yes, Nazuk, it's computer adaptive. Okay, at the same time, if you're not able to get a lot of questions right, okay, the difficulty level of questions in the next section would decrease. Okay, now Karna is asking me what is the level of the first session. Okay, now in the first session, the average difficulty level of questions would be 2, 3, and 4. Okay, it would be a mix of them. Mostly, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Saurabh, it's not unfair. Okay, as you do, it will challenge the guys to do, the guys who are actually good, it will challenge them to do better. Okay, and so it has the tendency to separate out all sorts of test takers. Okay, so why is it like that? Whether it's fair or unfair, we'll discuss on a different day. Fine. Today we'll only discuss how to get 170, whether it's unfair or not, whether it's fair or unfair. Fine. Okay. Now, a lot of you have written a lot of exams throughout your life, right? A lot of you have written must have written a lot of exams during your school and college days, right? Okay. Now, when you came across a question that you had done earlier, okay, when you came across a question in your exam that you had done earlier, okay, how did that feel? Awesome, says Piyush. Nazuk says great. Not bad, great. Okay, so all of you agree that it feels great. Okay, now how would it feel that if you felt that for 80% of the questions in your GRE? Okay, can you imagine a situation like that? Okay, now how what will ensure that you feel that for a lot of questions in your GRE exam? Karna says 100% would be better. Ankita says practice. Practice is Akshay. Okay, so practice and practicing a lot of questions. Okay, coverage of more stuff, says Piyush. Right? Right. So the more the number of questions you practice, okay, the more types of questions that you practice, okay, will allow you to will help you in making sure that you are able to see if you have solved the type of questions that come in GRE. Okay. Now there's one more important thing you need to you should be equipped with when you're writing the GRE. That is time management strategy. Okay, you should know when to skip a question. Okay, what is the maximum time to spend on a specific type of question. Okay, now there's an option in GRE where you can mark questions for review. Okay, you can go go ahead solving other questions and come back and revise it later. Okay, there is no negative marking in GRE. Okay, so I would definitely suggest that you attempt all the questions. Okay, yes, Ankita, you can come back to skip questions later. Okay, but definitely make sure that you don't skip any questions. Okay, now how many of you watch cricket? Ankita watches. Samir, Meena, Rajat loves cricket. Tushar says it's his religion. Sachin fan says Srish. Nazuk says he plays too. Fine. Okay. Now, who is your favorite cricketer? Sachin, Dravid, Ganguly, Virat Kohli, Dhoni, Kohli, Ganguly and Sachin. Raina, Sachin and Dravid. Okay, fine. Sehwag. Okay, now let's let's think of a situation where India is playing Australia. Okay, how many of you love Australia? Okay, now you're playing India is playing Australia, and India is chasing a big score. Okay, and they are in a situation where on the last ball they have to hit a 6. Okay, and on the crease you have Dhoni. Okay, so what do you expect him to do? Hit a 6. Tushar says we will win. Helicopter shot says Meena. Okay, same thing says Ankita, helicopter shot, whack a 6, no ball and a 6. Srinivasa says it's obvious that he'll hit a 6, uppercut. Okay, so whichever form you hit it, all of you expect him to hit a 6, right? Even if he misses it, okay, even if he don't win, okay, what do you expect him to do? Be cool, right? Try, right Akshay? Be cool and hit, right? So it's okay even if we lose, but we should not lose our face. We should stand there bold and swing our bat very hard. Trying is important. Try and try. Okay, so this is exactly the attitude with which you should approach your GRE. Okay, now you might come across few questions which you may not be able to solve. Okay, or you might come across some questions that you won't feel very confident doing them. You might feel that you went wrong. Okay, what are you supposed to do? Should you get bogged down, or should you try to hit a 6 in the next question? Okay, move on, try hard, think on the next question. Okay, right, so keep calm, okay, and try to do the best in the next question. Okay, try to do your best in the next section. Okay, we go to the GRE exam only to score as high as you can. Okay, don't get into competitive mode with your friends or peers. Okay, each one of us is very different. Okay, GRE is very different from your college exams. Okay, so don't compare yourself with anybody on that scale. Okay, be practical. Don't take the test as a matter of prestige. Okay, so all of you will do that. Okay, now let us see the experience of some of the students who scored 170 in GRE. Okay, so how many of you are interested to know about that? Okay, now when we talk to a lot of students, okay, who scored 170 in GRE Quant, a lot of them said the same thing. Okay, solve questions with higher difficulty. Okay, so that the actual exam looks easy. Okay, how many of you agree with that? Okay, now They also said that, try to solve questions that are longer. Okay, so that it leaves you with extra time during the actual exam. Okay, it will also add confidence and allows you to relax before the next section. Okay, what it also does is that it will leave you with time to revise. Okay, to revise your answers. Okay, how many of you do that in your college exams? Okay, now those who do that will know its value, right? Okay, so the same thing you should also be able to do during your GRE exam. Priya says bleed during practice so you can sail through war. Okay, well said. Okay, Prithvi is asking, increase in difficulty level means the questions will become more logical, or questions will involve higher concepts in the corresponding topics. Okay, when difficulty level of questions would increase, okay, you'll require more better conceptual understanding. Okay, also the number of concepts required to solve a question would also increase. Okay, so in some questions you'll just need to know one simple formula or two simple formulas to be able to solve it. As the difficulty level of questions, difficulty level of question increases, you'll need to know more, more number of concepts. Okay, so at times there'll be 3 or 4 or 5, concepts involved, in a single question. Okay, that's how the difficulty level of question will increase. Okay, now we already discussed about the adaptive nature of exam. Okay, due to the adaptive nature of exam of the test, you need to be able to solve higher difficulty level questions from all the topics. Okay, that's only then will you be able to score 170. Okay, if you ignore any one topic, okay, if you're having a bad day, you will find a question, high difficulty level question coming from that topic, and you'll not be able to solve it. Thus not allowing you to score 170. Okay, and don't get misled by those who have got low scores. Okay, who say the test was easy. It is mainly so because of the adaptive nature. Okay, so you don't do well in the first section, the second section becomes even more easy, and some of them may come out saying the GRE exam was very easy. Okay. So all of you understood this? Okay. Now let's see, how do you go about it? Okay. Now how much time does it take, to prepare for GRE? Okay. To normally complete, preparation for GRE Quant, you'll need about 2 months. Okay. About 4 weeks, for concepts. Okay, additional additional time will be required in case you are not in touch with the basics. Okay, like we saw earlier. Okay, not knowing formulas, you have to brush up. Okay, all those sort of things will need additional 1 or 2 months. Okay, now as you complete your preparation, as you learn all the concept and you practice more, okay, by the end of your preparation you should take individual GRE style tests. Okay, now how many of you know what is a GRE style test? Okay, mock test, right? So it's tests that have questions that have that are on the same level of GRE. Okay, they are called GRE style tests. Okay, individual GRE style test means GRE style tests only containing quant questions and only containing verbal questions. Okay, so those type of tests are called individual GRE style tests. Okay, these are good while you're practicing. Okay, it'll help you develop your time management strategy, fine tune your weak areas, and it'll help you revise. Okay, once you're completed with these individual GRE style tests, what you should move on to do is take full length adaptive tests. Okay, where you will be able to experience the GRE. Okay, where you will be writing or taking Quant, verbal, and AWA all together. Okay, so that you should do about 1 or 2 weeks before your exam. Okay, so you practice like this. Okay, and if you ensure on the day of the exam you're confident and you don't panic. Okay, I know for sure that you will be able to score 117 GRE Quant. Okay, now a lot of students have scored 117 GRE Quant with GRE Edge. Okay, now how many of you would like to know how did they do that? Okay, Ankita, Saurabh, Tushar, Nazuk, Leela, Krishna, all right? Okay, so I'll hand over the mic to my colleague Mani Kumar. Okay, who will explain us how is that if you prepare with GRE Edge, you will be able to get a very high score. Okay, thank you guys. After this we'll also have question and answer session. For now, I'll give it the mic to Mani Kumar.
So guys, how was the webinar? How was the online seminar? Naruk says good, nice, great, helpful, informative, excellent, fabulous. Made us realize where we stand, says Ankita. Okay, a lot of positive feedback from you guys. Very good to hear that. Okay, now Samat has given a lot of information about GRE quants and a lot of techniques, tips and techniques, a lot of methods how to prepare for the GRE, especially when we are preparing for quants. Okay, now guys, there is over the years GRE Edge has asked more than 15,000 students and helped them prepare with their GRE, and based on all the learnings and all the research, GRE Edge has has come up with a standard learning procedure. Okay, that is actually a hit with most of the toppers at GRE Edge. Okay, more than 400 students have scored 320 plus in the revised GRE over in the last 2 years. Okay, so what is their success? How do they prepare, and how does GRE Edge help them with their GRE preparation? I'm going to tell you now. Okay, okay. So guys, let me ask you a question first. Okay, when you're feeling ill and when you're not very well, okay, you go to a doctor. What does he do first? What does he do to you when you're not feeling ill? You go to a doctor. What is the first thing he does to you? Nazuk says, I'm a doctor. Okay, what an irony. Okay, Nazuk, let me ask you this question. When a patient comes to you, what is the first thing you do? Ask for symptoms, says Ankita. Examines. Diagnoses you. Diagnose. Asking details of illness, correct. Okay, so when you go to a doctor, the first thing he does is he diagnoses you. Okay, he asks you to go and take some tests. So based on the results of the test, he tells you what are the problems that you are actually facing. Okay, and based on that, he'll prescribe some medicines or treat you according to whatever illness you have. Correct? Am I right? Agree with me? Okay, okay. So similarly, when you join GRE Edge, okay, you will be provided 2 personal trainers, one for verbal and one for quant. Okay, what they'll do is they'll ask you to take a diagnostic test. Okay, a diagnostic test is nothing but the initial part of your preparation. It's the start of your preparation. Okay, once you take a diagnostic test, it will it will tell you where you currently stand in your GRE preparation. Okay, what is your current score, what is your current level of preparation. Okay, and based on your dream, based on your target score, or based on your dream university, what is the progress that you have to make. Okay, whether you have to score 20, whether you have to boost 20 more points, whether you have to boost 10 more points. Okay, it will tell you where exactly you stand. Okay, once you're done with the diagnostic test, okay, your personal trainers at GRE Edge, they'll make a study plan for you. Okay, the study plan will include all the details of what are the lessons that you have to prepare, what time, and how do you have to prepare exactly. Okay, and that will be made, that will be a personalized study plan. Okay, your study plan will be totally yours and not one for all. Okay, your study plan will be exactly made keeping in mind your work timings, your college timings, or your study timings, and it will be made tailor-made for you. Okay, so based on the study plan, all you have to do is follow it. Okay, now how do we follow it? Okay, GRE Edge has a platform called the Learning Tracker. Okay, the one you see on the screen, a green color. Do you guys see a green color picture there? Do you see a green color picture there? Okay. Yes. Okay. It says getting started, right? Yeah. So that is how a learning tracker will look. Learning tracker is a platform developed by GRE Edge for your GRE preparation. Yeah. All your lessons, all your practice tests, all your sessions will be there. Will be on the learning tracker. You can take sessions according to your study plan, or whenever you want. Okay, you can request your personal trainers to change your study plan. Okay, and then take lessons and take sessions. Okay, once you're done with a session, okay, once you're done with a session, say you have taken 1 hour session on the learning tracker, what your trainers will do is your trainers will monitor you. Okay, now we also have a technology called the millisecond technology. Now what this does is it records each and every click that you make on the learning tracker. Okay, say if you are a good reader, but you have taken more than a couple of minutes to answer an RC question, your trainers will see that. Your trainers will see that data and tell you that this is where you are going wrong. This particular word was something that you were not able to understand. Okay, so they'll give you tips on that, how to improve that. Okay, they'll identify your weaknesses, or they identify where you are going wrong, and provide you feedback on how to improve it. Okay, then you take all the feedback and apply it in your next session. Okay, and then again you will be given feedback by your personal trainer, and that loop will carry on. Okay, so that is how basically you'll prepare at GRE Edge. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Okay, if you are studying, okay, and in the middle of the night you come across a doubt, okay, what do you do? You come across a doubt in the middle of the night, what do you do? Samir says sleep. Okay, is sleep the right solution if you have a doubt during your preparation? Ankita says jot it down. Ramya says note it down. Ankita says and ask later. Alright, okay, I'll tell you. At GRE Edge, okay, till now, what you would have done is, if you have a doubt, you would have noted it down and referred later, or you would have Googled it and tried to search for the solution, which you are not sure that if you'll get the right solution. Okay, but at GRE Edge, if you have a doubt while you're studying, okay, there's an app called the InstaDoubt. Okay, what it does is it stores all the doubts asked by all the previous 15,000 students at GRE Edge. Okay, all the doubts asked by them, along with the solutions their personal trainers had given them. Okay, all the doubts will be there. Okay, if say just imagine that if if on average a student asks 10 doubts, okay, and 15,000 students, that makes it 1,50,000 doubts along with solutions. Okay, so it's highly highly unlikely that you will come up with a new doubt. All the doubts will be there in the database, so you can just type in your doubt. Okay, the similar doubts will show up, and you can refer to the solution. Okay, in case by chance if you can't get the doubt that you have, okay, then your doubts will be answered by your personal trainers within 1 working day. Okay, so that is how you'll prepare with GRE Edge. Okay, and you can take a lot of revised GRE style tests, lot of full length adaptive tests. Okay, a lot of tests you can take, you can keep practice. Okay, along with that, okay, there are a lot of other things that you'll personally be benefited from if you are preparing with GRE Edge. Okay, the picture-based word list, pictures that that help in enhancing your memory when it comes to word learning. Okay, you'll get a picture-based word list. Okay, and you'll have a student desk that is called the student welfare team. We have student welfare team. Whenever you have a whenever you have any issues or any any concerns, you can directly contact them. Okay, and you can contact your personal trainers anytime you want. During the working hours, you'll have their personal mobile number. Okay, so you can contact them and ask your doubts, and they'll be more than happy to clarify your doubts. Okay, so what do you feel about the learning process at GRE Edge, guys? What do you feel about the learning process at GRE Edge? Tushar says flexible. Okay. Vikram says cool. Ramya says promising. Okay, Ramya is asking if there is a trial package available. Yes, Ramya, there is a trial package available. You can log on to our website, create an account, and take a trial pack. Okay. Okay, yeah, and there's also a free diagnostic test available. You can take the diagnostic test as well. Okay, so guys, so how many of you are willing to join GRE Edge, to boost your GRE preparation and score good marks in your GRE? How many of you would like GRE Edge to help you with your preparation? Okay, a lot of you. Okay, now the good things don't end here.